Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So I want to talk about the C# ternary operator in this video, and I have a project kind of made right here. We actually looked at in a recent video where we talked about keyboard shortcuts. So this is the same project if you want to check that video out too. So what I want to explain is basically when you would use a ternary operator and what they are useful for. So if you're not familiar with what a ternary operator is, basically it's this right here. So let me just get out of the way real fast. So a ternary operator basically is just fancy syntax for an if statement, essentially. So you can see here, also known as a ternary conditional operator, evaluates a Boolean expression and it returns the result of one of the two expressions, depending on if it's true or false. So you can see the syntax here is a question mark followed by a colon. So if the condition is true, it's going to execute the whatever is to the left of the colon. So in this case, it's going to print cold, but if it's false, it's going to print, I guess, perfect. So that's the syntax. So if you're unaware of what it is, that's what it is. So if you want to look that up later, you can. Now, obviously, one criticism of this is that it's a little hard to read. It's not obvious at first glance what's happening here. But once you kind of get in the hang of reading it, it actually can consolidate your code quite a bit. And not that that is a good thing sometimes, it can actually be worse, but in some use cases, like the one I'm going to show you now, it can actually just be a little bit of a good housekeeping thing to do. It can kind of reduce the lines that you have to read inside of a service. So what I have made here is this fake weather service. So, ideally this would connect to an API and pull down, whatever weather. But for right now, I just made a class called forecast, and it has is rainy, is cloudy, is clear weather, and is sunny. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to put some logic around recommendation. Basically, recommendation, you can see here, is going to be based on is cloudy, is rainy, and is clear weather. So what we're going to have to change here is, well, actually, let's run this first and let's see what this is doing. So right now, I just set a new object. Well, hold on, let me go back here. You can see it prints out stay inside, and that's because we have in the service made just a new object of weather forecast, and we set is rainy to true, is cloudy to true, and is sunny to false. So we added some logic here to say that if is cloudy is true and if it's rainy, we want to print stay inside. So we have that logic here, and it makes sense to have it here. But if you're ever working in a service and finding yourself doing a lot of checks on properties within a method in a service, you should begin asking yourself the question, can I move some of that logic into the property itself? And that's what we're going to do, because it can clean up a lot of this code. Now, again, it might not be the right use case for you, but it's just a recommendation if you're trying to move that logic outside a method. So if we look at here, the object, the forecast object, we know that we're wanting to set recommendation based on the two conditions, right, of is cloudy and is rainy. So we can actually use a ternary operator to accomplish this. So if we go into our property here in our get accessor here, let's add in curly braces. Oh, let me stop debugging first. We can add in curly braces, and we can say, again, remembering our logic, we're going to want to create a return statement in our accessor, get accessor. So we can say that use our two conditions, so is rainy and is cloudy. So again, so this is going to return based on these two. So what's going to happen is if this evaluates to true, so meaning if it's rainy and is cloudy, we're going to use our ternary operators here to say that we want to print stay inside if those evaluate to true. And if they don't evaluate to true, which we denote with the colon there, we want to say go outside. And let's just add our semicolon there, and we need to add in the curly braces after set, and it should go. So basically what we have done, just to explain again, is we're going to get the value of, is rainy and is cloudy, so it's either going to be stay inside or go outside. And we did that all in one line with the ternary operator. So what we can effectively do is that we can remove this logic here. And I know we didn't set up clear weather. We do have to set up, actually we don't have to set up clear weather, because clear weather is just the opposite of bad weather. So we can actually ignore that, and let's take all that out, and let's go ahead and just set up right line and our weather forecast, and let's just print the recommendation, because we already know that we will just have it. So again, we took out all the logic and we just added in the one line debug right line forecast recommendation. So let's run that and let's see what happens. Let's put a breakpoint there, and let's see what we get an output to, and it should stay inside. And it does stay inside right at the bottom here. So that's exactly what we're looking for. And again, this is just a little bit cleaner approach to moving some of that, kind of really just kind of busy logic inside of a method that can be extrapolated to a property. This is just one basic use case of how you can do this, and one basic use case of why a ternary operator can be useful in a scenario like this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully this is helpful. Talking about ternary operators. Again, they're not, they're kind of weird to read. Honestly, I don't use them a lot, but some cases like this on a property, they can be helpful to move some of that logic off. And yeah, if you find a use case, let me know in the comments if you use them before. If you don't like using them, let me know. But again, this is just one maybe suggestion as to how you could potentially use them. Thank you for watching this video. If you have anything else you want to see in Visual Studio or C# or .NET, let me know in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and have a good day.